My finger is on the button.
My finger is on the button.
Push the button. Push the button.
I'm pissing on the moon! Penis!
So, I have an important question to ask you, my roll chums. Have you ever feel like you're being watched, like literally like being watched behind a shadow? I'm not referring to Keanu Reeves. I mean, he's just showing up in other places.
He's just showing up in other places.
But I mean, like, probably being watched, like, let's say, two bald evil geniuses that's played by a legendary Canadian actor. Probably just nothing. Just probably might take a look and... Ha! Left yourself open.
Left yourself open.
Left yourself open.
Made you look.
Penis!
I'm just kidding. It's just a customized Robotnik curtain that I just got just because, you know, I'm a big Jim Carrey dork myself. So I can just open up and see the beautiful birds chirping and just go light, dark, light, dark, dark, light, dark, light, dark, light, dark, light. Light. If you get that reference, spank you very much.
Thank you very much.
But anyway, alrighty then, my roll chums. It is I, Daniel. You may call me the Pop Culture Dude. And before I address anything, we have finally hit 9,000 subscribers. It's over 9,000!
It's over 9,000!
But yeah, all internet quotes aside, Dragon Ball Z, it's crazy that I finally hit 9K subscribers. Surprisingly, it took this long since I've been making YouTube videos for like literally almost a decade, around early 2016. So for the celebration of hitting 9,000 subscribers, I'm like, well, how about I decide to show my entire merch room tour of everything I own. And yeah, as you see from the title of the thumbnail and obviously like all the things around me, everything I own Sonic movie merch related, from the shelves to the posters, but also a little bit of collectibles, posters, and even DVDs down below. But other than that, how about I just get a little bit more a room tour from yours truly, the Pop Culture Dude, from toys to video games to DVDs and everything, and anything that's vintage. So we're gonna see on top to the bottom. So without further ado, for my 9K subscriber special, and just for the sake of making the algorithm grow, so let's do this! Let's do this!
Penis!
So, I already explained this like in the very beginning of the video. This is a custom-made curtain of Professor Joe Robotnik and Dr. Ivo Robotnik, where they're two characters in a movie being played by the same actor. And yes, it's Jim Carrey and Jim Carrey. You're probably wondering, where do I get this? I made this for myself. Anyway, all jokes aside, I can't even customize that quick. But yeah, speaking of customize, I actually got it from Amazon, and I just insert like whatever image that I could translate so I can make this into a curtain. And in my brain, I'm like, well, since I am a huge Jim Carrey fan, I do like his version of the Robotniks. I'm like, well, how about I just have a curtain of the Jim Carrey and Jim Carrey poster that came out like a year ago during the hype of Sonic Movie 3. And now you're probably wondering, why not just split this in half so then you can open one curtain side with Gerald and the other side with Ivo, which that would be pretty cool, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like the framing, or in this case the split friction between the two, may not make it look good if you decide to look on the outside view. So instead, I decided to go outside, see what's the pretty birds are chirping, where everything's all green and sunny in the heat of Florida, and yeah, that's the custom curtain. So now they're going to be watching me while I sleep.
Penis!
But outside of the curtain, we also got the United States Sonic Movie 3 main poster, which, yeah, even though I would say I like the international poster a lot more, that's like sell for the UK and Australia, but I'm like, well, this is the main United States poster, and I remember that, you know, it was like pretty big, pretty similar like the second movie. I mean, you literally got the main characters like here on the poster, and I originally was going to get something more smaller like this one in particular, but then I'm like, well, it would be cool to have a huge picture frame based on it. And besides, I mean, I mentioned about this last year that it is like not only the best Sonic movie out of the three, and I still say that to this day, I think it's the best video game movie adaptation. Yeah, come at me, Mario fans. So Sonic 3 is peak cinema in my household, so we got it right next to the Robotnik curtains, along with this Regal exclusive, this exclusive poster that I got from the first Sonic movie that I actually got for free when the first movie came out. So you can literally says right here, limited edition 2020. So I'm like, yeah, let me treasure this. But outside of the posters, I do got a few more to share, like outside the wall. Now for starters, to see what's up on the shelf, there's a Deaf Egg robot on the shelf. That's what it is. So yeah, I actually purchased this Deaf Egg robot for those that subscribe to my older channel, Woody and Daffy Duck, where I used to make plush videos. I actually used this Deaf Egg robot as a prop for the Sonic Movie 2 plush parody, where it's kind of like a multiversal crossover between the movie version and the game version teaming up with each other. And I believe that I want to get the Deaf Egg robot by Jack Specific because the movie 2 version is just like a purple 3D pop art card out, and it's not even like as articulated, or in this case, like, you know, as useful as this one. So that's, I'm like, yeah, this one's more faithful to the colors, it's more accurate to the game. So that's, I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna get this for sure. And yeah, since it's been a year since the Sonic Movie 3 trailer debuted back in August 2024, I remember I spot these at Walmart and I actually got a chance to snatch them away from me. And yeah, I will get to the Funko Pops once when I start reviewing them, but for now I'm just gonna focus on the main Sonic Movie short. So yeah, these are like the unopened versions of the small minifigurines. I'm like, well, at least I got the main hero, the yin and the yang, since the first movie, so definitely got that for sure. And then you're probably wondering, what's this Eggman collectible? Well, allow me to show you my ultimate weapon. Pingus!
Pingus!
Unfortunately, it's one of those gifts that don't age well, because I think a fan just gave me just because I was a big fan of, like, you know, not just doing a voice impression of Eggman, but literally doing the cosplay. It was meant to be a stand-in, but look at this. His penguin-sized nose is already broken, so I'm like, yeah, I'd rather just keep this in the box because, unfortunately, I couldn't, like, have any proper material to display it well. So, let's just keep this egghead back to where he belongs in his coop. Speaking of which, I definitely got the Sonic Movie 2 figure pack, which, yeah, could have done the same for the Movie 3 minifigures, but I just feel like Movie 2's figure pack has it perfectly, where it has the main characters literally around that time, Robotnik, Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails, and if you look closely, it's like, well, I mean, for Sonic Movie 3, it was like half of these figures, and they just reused the exact same Badnik drones, but let's get a closer look up to it. So yeah, here's the close-up of the figures, still in box, which I do unbox them whenever I want to articulate. And then you got the main squad, but also the big bad with the big brand new stash all on top. So I definitely say this was like the best figure pack that I got for the Movie 2 figures, which we will get to the rest. But we do have a little bit more Movie 2 merch before we go straight to Movie 3. So on the back right here, you have the first official poster of Sonic Movie 2, where it's only just Sonic, Tails on the tornado, and then showing Jim Carrey's Robotnik on his egg pod, which originally they were supposed to put Knuckles, but they try their best to, like, you know, avoid spoilers until the first trailer reveals Knuckles as a, you know, a hype moment from the trailer. But this is not just a poster, this is just actually a free exclusive poster that I got in a screening to watch Sonic Movie 2. As you can see from here, it's easily based on the IDW comics, which I'm pretty sure that, yup, Ian Flynn wrote the story. And yeah, even though it's not necessarily tied in with the movie version, but, you know, it's kind of like, you know, have a nice collectible just for the hype for the second movie where you see Sonic and Tails as, like, the main characters. So yeah, it's just like a free collectible when I get to see the movie literally 2 days before that, which I have posted that in my Sonic Movie 2 early screening vlog back in 2022.
Look at this! This magnificent masterpiece. Guess who's the one who has the top banana in a world full of hungry little monkeys? Ignore the Sonic 2 title!
But before I get to the 5-inch, 4-inch scale figures, let's just straight to the minifigures. So, luckily this was like literally the last Sonic Movie 3 merch item, which I was not expecting that Tails will get his own separate figure, because last time he was with the actual wave, which I actually found this from Walmart. And yeah, if you look identically, it's pretty much the same as the Movie 2 figure, but except he has a little bit more tall legs because, you know, he's growing up. He's maturing from a fox boy to a fox man. That sounds wrong. And then you got Nipples the Enchilada, the Echidna Warrior, which, yeah, I honestly removed the collectible, so then I could just remove the figure out of the sticky plastic thingy, so then I can articulate with the figures. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to keep them in the box forever. They're toys. They're meant to be played with. So yeah, there we got Knuckles, and then we got Robotnik, which, yeah, I've already showed you, like, the unopened version, which I purposely put that on display. But for these, I'm like, yeah, I do want to unbox these and, you know, just have a fun time recreating the movie scenes on social media posts or just for the toys. And Ivo, do not fall down. Just go, later, hater! So yeah, I'm just going to put Ivo right here. And then obviously the most fan favorite one when it comes to the movie theory rave is, like, yeah, Shadow the Hedgehog. I mean, look, from the quails, from the details of the toys. Let's not forget that was during the hype when Shadow was just leaked through the merchandise before the trailer even came out. I mean, look, they literally just keep on reusing, like, they keep reusing the same movie 2 post-credit scene multiple times, because you could tell it's like during the pre-development stage. And then you got the Blue Boy himself. Like, I actually got like 3 figures of this version of Sonic from that to the display, to even to the crab mech playset. Like, I literally have the exact same figure wave, even though despite if you get like the other wave, you can just get him with the Chow head, but I don't see the point of getting it because, you know, he only just wear that thing for like 5 seconds. So pretty much I got like the mini versions of the main characters, except a mini version of Joe Robotnik, the mini version of Super Sonic, Super Shadow, and no Agent Stone. And I know I could have had the chance to get Agent Stone so then he could reunite with the Doctor once again. But, you know, like, I don't think I will have enough space to put up in the shelf unless they, like, I don't know, make a 5-inch figure of him for Sonic 4, but it is what it is. So, yeah, that's it for the minifigures. Let's just move these little pipsqueaks aside and get to the 5-inch. And yeah, unfortunately, during the movie 2 era, despite I have the minifigures of Tails and Knuckles together, but these were like the only ones that I got during the second movie, where it's basically the 4-inch version of Sonic with the snowboard, and then you got, you know, Jim Carrey's Dr. Robotnik with his latte with steam Austrian goat milk, because he knows he loves the way how Stone makes them. And yeah, just to unbox from the figures, I actually like remove the wrapping out so then I could just articulate, but then if I want to keep the box, it's going to be difficult for these guys just to be sticking around. And yeah, might as well just show the back. So then you get to see the character bio, everything else for the detail during the movie 2 era, 13 points articulation. Like back then I was like, yeah, these toys, they're great, but until movie 3 easily just dethroned the movie 2 figures. And yeah, even the Sonic figure was honestly a bit too hard to articulate because of his legs and arms, but you know what, it is what it is. At least movie 3 decided to like improve on that. And speaking of movie 3, almost forgot to show the box art of Sonic, like in the back, and then you got the snowboard and then the articulation of the 4 main cast. Anyway, on to the Robotniks. I mean, for those who subscribe to my channel to see all of the Sonic Movie 3 merch unboxing videos, which I will admit, it was pretty fun, but, you know, I just stopped after Super Sonic, Super Shadow with Gerald because I feel like the hype of the movie has slowed down. But if they do make merchandise for movie 4 with, you know, movie Amy Rose, movie Metal Sonic, you bet your bond dollar I'm going to waste all my money in my wallet for it. So then you got a close-up of Ivo, and you're probably wondering, Daniel, why do you keep them in the box instead of just like, you know, articulate, make cool display? Hold your horses. This is my secret code of how I eventually unbox them and not break it, just like I did by ripping that one. So basically just either use my fingers or use my keys just to use this, and then once when I unwrap this, you see I removed the plastic thingies out, and then I let Ivo and then I let Gerald articulate so then they could do their iconic grandfather and grandson stuff and just be like, bam, 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 bam. Where are they? Up there. Ugh, left yourself open. So yeah, I find my ways to, like, you know, not just articulate the figures and just have fun with them. It's like, if I don't want to display them, so then it makes, like, you know, the shelf up there becoming very dusty, so then I don't want the figures to, like, become too dusty or just, like, you know, not make the painting like not age well in a way. You guys get what I'm saying, but either way, so I definitely put them back. Like whenever I'm not using these figures just for fun or just for articulation, I put them back inside the cardboard, and then after that put them back inside the box. And then, bada bing, bada boom, I put them back to the shelf on display, and then literally just lined them up from the movie 2 era to the movie 3 era, which, by the way, even though I've already made an unboxing video, so I'm not going to unbox every single figure because I've already seen, like, show you guys in, like, multiple videos before on this channel, but you guys get the point. So, the point is, yeah, I definitely love the movie 3 figures a lot more than movie 2. My only complaint about the Robotniks is, I wish they would have made, like, you know, a Wave 4, Wave 5 where they actually got their Eggman spacesuits, so then that would be pretty cool, so it's not just a reused version of movie 2, but you know what, it is what it is. So then we move on to Super Sonic and Super Shadow, and yes, they still light up where they go, live and learn, hanging on the edge of tomorrow. So yeah, even though this figure pack was very rare to find, not just on Target, but actually like put these figures on stock so they don't get sold out, because it was obvious that these toys were going to get sold out ASAP. However, at least I made my pre-order for the 4 figure pack of Team Sonic versus Shadow, and yeah, pretty much just like Super Sonic, Super Shadow, you got lighting up in blue, lighting up in red, where you got John Ralphio and John Wick into furry Ronin form this takedown. And besides, just like, if you guys get the idea, like, just like how this movie 2 figure pack, I actually want to have all the main characters together, so then I don't have to pay for separate figures just like these guys. So that's why, that was my intention to, like, you know, get these iterations of Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Shadow together, so then I don't have to pay for like all the figures separately, because, you know, look at my shelf, there's not that much space here. So I'm like, yeah, it was worth the investment when I pre-ordered it online, and it became one of my most successful videos on this channel. And then you got Crypto the Super Dog, which is a fun Funko Pop. And yeah, before we get to the other stuff, let me just switch to the right. And yes, pretty much just like with the other figures, I do got the Crab Mech playset, but I put it in the box so then it'll be good for display, and then just remove it out like it's fresh and brand new. But yeah, I already made an unboxing video, so you guys can already check that out. But as for what's up above, we got McDonald's Happy Meal. So yeah, I do got the Happy Meal boxes of movie 2. I actually got like 3, so I can show you like a cool trick of what I've done intentionally. So definitely got movie 2 toys, which you can definitely see on the bottom. And then for the movie 3 Happy Meal boxes, yeah, I got the one with Sonic, which I actually got this like literally after when I saw the movie. And then surprisingly, when I went again, I actually got the Shadow one right here. The only one I just didn't get was like the Tails and Knuckles one, which was quite of a shame. And speaking of which, yes, here are the movie toys. I got Tails on a snowboard. I got Knuckles like racing in red. Then you got Sonic racing in blue. And then you got the toy that basically spoiled the movie before it was even released. So you got Super Goku Hedgehog versus the Death Egg Robot, which I will admit, I feel like, in my personal opinion, the Sonic Movie 2 toys for McDonald's are way more sculpted, but also the better Happy Meal toys than the movie 3 toys. Because don't get me wrong, like, even though it's cool that they got, you know, Knuckles, Sonic, Tails, and Shadow just to rollerblade, like, you know, in the speed of sound, but, you know, I just don't think it's like, you know, as cool as like you pull in the dash and then they just charge in you. So I think sculpt wise, they look better by their derpy looking faces, but I just feel like these are the better toys during Sonic Movie 2 than Movie 3. And yes, I don't technically own Shadow, so it's quite of a shame because he was pretty rare to find. And speaking of Shadow, yes, I got him on his 2021 motorcycle Bugatti, and I've already made a review on that on the channel as well. So yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's a good thing that I literally have both the playsets for Movie 3, while for Movie 2, I just don't have the playsets at all because I wasn't that interested. But for these two, definitely worth my investment. But as for the Happy Meal boxes, this is exactly what I mean about the Movie 2 boxes I collect. And this is exactly what I mean, because if you look at the Sonic Movie 2 box where you got Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails, I'm like, you know, I made this curvy line where you got Tails with the apple slices, and then boom, you got Sonic, and then boom, you just get 2 Knuckles fists. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of like a puzzle pattern. And then for Sonic and Shadow, it's nothing too different except like, you know, it's just their faces and the Happy Meal toys. And then I got them on display, which I've already showed, the Movie 2 toys. And then for the Movie 3, like I said before, I think they have the better head sculpts, but I just think as posable toys, it's like, yeah, we're free, or like, oh no, now we're just stuck in this hamster wheel that we just gotta roll. But yeah, I literally just got the boys, except for Shadow, because, you know, Shadow was just a very rare to find, except for Super Shadow. But yeah, that's how the way that I am loving it. So, you know, they did it for Movie 2, and they did it for Movie 3. I bet your bond dollar they're going to do this all over again for Movie 4. Hey, look, Pink Hedgehog Girl. Hey, Metal Sonic, like, literally on the Happy Meal box. So, I'll be there by March 2027 for my Happy Meals, even though I'm a grown-ass man.
Eat this, hedgehog! Ha-ha! I'll be taking this on the go. Later, haters!
Also, I forgot to mention, since I am a big Ace Ventura fan, or in this case, you know, I'm a big fan of Ace Ventura mainly because of Jim Carrey, got myself some diecast cards from the first 2 movies because I think they're peak comedy in my opinion. So, we got the 1989 Chevrolet Blazer where Ace Ventura was just chasing, like, all these guys that were trying to chase Dan Marino.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Head detective. Can't you hit me?
And then down below, you got Ace Ventura 2, which is the Zebra Jeep. And if you've seen the movie, this Jeep is recognizable on set during the moment where Ace Ventura is trying to get out of the warm rhinoceros's butt. And I'm like, well, I actually get to see like a real life model of this 1976 Zebra Jeep. And when I saw it at, I think it was Disney Springs, Downtown Disney, it was one of those names. I saw it on Planet Hollywood when I was a young kid. I'm like, oh, a movie vehicle from a Jim Carrey movie that I love. And it's like, yeah, can't believe it was like, you know, display as like the rhino burp scene when I saw it in person. So it was a childhood dream come true. But that's not the only Ace Ventura figure. I have the most iconic one from the first movie. There it is, the 1972 Chevrolet Monte Carlo, which my dad gets really jealous whenever, like, oh, Jim Carrey actually ride one of my dream cars that I rode. Because, yeah, this is the main car that he rode in the first film where it gets damaged, gets crashed, and, you know, where he has the perfect parking line where he says, like a glove, like a glove. So I'm like, yeah, just a homage to, like, one of my favorite Jim Carrey movies in the form of vehicles. And even outside of Ace Ventura, we got the DC superheroes, which, yeah, I mean, pretty much that Sonic and DC just made a crossover issue in the form of comic books, Funko Pops, and merchandise. I'm like, well, my grandfather gave me because it's kind of like a 3D pop render. Then you got the ultimate punk rocker himself, you got Batman, you got Aquaman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Cyborg, Green Lantern. I'm like, well, This is pretty cool enough as a pop cultural dude, or in this case, a punk rocker. And then display for the Sonic movie calendar, which, yeah, you can tell there's Knuckles since it's already the month of August. And then you got Tails down below. I'll show the full display of the calendar in a minute.
I'm hungry!
In a minute!
As you see right here, you definitely get to see the exact same renders that are being reused in every single Sonic Movie 3 merch item every single time, but this time it's based on the year 2025. And then if you go back, this is exactly what the pages would look like. So yeah, even though the majority of these screenshots are mostly just reused shots from Sonic Movie 2, this is the only one from the first movie, by the way. And then this is the only Eggman-centric post because, you know, most of the vids carried by Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles from Sonic 2, and since they didn't have the time to, like, render any spoiler-ish type of pictures for Sonic 3 around that time, that's where they only get to use Shadow from the post-credit scene, and then you got the synopsis of Sonic Movie 3. And then as you look over to the calendar from beginning to end, see, then you get Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, and then you get to see Shadow doing the SA2 pose, and yeah, only picture from Sonic 1, and then you got Tails and Knuckles for Sonic 2, and then this one... This one just cracks me up by saying, "Do you know the way, my Buddha?" It's like, bro, like, they were just quite lazy. It's like, yeah, cool Sonic, but then you got this dislocated Knuckles eyesight just being like, I do not know the way.
No. You do not know the way. You do not know the way. You do not know the way.
Then you got Shadow right here down below. Then April, it's only just Tails. And you got Knuckles putting out a fist. Oh, I actually really like this one. Sonic vs. Knuckles, I thought that was cool. Then you include Tails there too. And then, like I said, sadly, the only Eggman-centric picture because I get it. Even though Jim Carrey's a big actor, but, you know, I understand he's not as marketable as the furry creatures themselves. So then we move on to Sonic during the 5 Sonic 2. Then they got another Shadow render. And then the current one today in August 2025. Then you got Tails. And then Sonic and Tails, which, yeah, I actually wrote that the majority of the Sonic movie cast members' birthdays are there. Keanu Reeves, Idris Elba, both Ben Schwartz and Cleo Chauncey, so kind of perfect that you got the voice actors who voice these characters on the same birthday month next to James Marsden. Then you got Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and then move on to October. Sadly, the only Shadow picture that they can only use for Sonic 2, but no Movie 3 screenshots, which they should do better next time for Movie 4 calendar. Then you got Super Sonic, then you got Shadow, and of course my birthday's on November 12th. And then last but not least, the only shot that we got the trio together as a team by the end of Movie 2. And yeah, that's all until 2026 for the next calendar. I forgot to show these guys since they technically are a part of the thumbnail that I didn't include. So these technically are the only Sonic plushies that I own as of right now until, like, I don't know, I get the 4th movie. You're probably wondering, why not get the Build-A-Bears? First of all, I mean, I'm not really a Build-A-Bear collector except for one that I'll show later. But secondly, it's like, come on, I feel like these ones are a bit more, like, posable that you could just punch and fight and actually, like, articulate. So yeah, I got the movie Shadow plush, which I literally got this, like, a year ago during the hype of the first trailer that came out for Sonic Movie 3. So I'm like, yeah, got my hands on it on Walmart's. And then for these guys, these are just the Movie 2 plushies. And yeah, you can tell by the string right here, I kind of washed these, so I kind of regretted that. And I was thinking, like, should I get, like, the Movie 3 iterations of these plushies? But I'm like, well, these technically are the same models, or in this case, take similarities of the other ones. Shadow was technically the only new character they got for the plush line. And I think Shadow's easily the best plush right here. Then you got Knuckles at Five Below, 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 Knuckles at Five Below. Oh no. Got his Knuckles fist, and it's clearly from the second movie. Same goes for Tails that I've already showed. And this is the only first Sonic movie plush that I got, which originally it had, like, Ben Schwartz's voice where he goes, "Gotta go fast. So you guys want to watch a movie or what?" But, you know, the voice box doesn't work anymore since it's already been used for, like, what, since 2020. And since they never made a Jim Carrey Eggman plush, because I understand that as a plush form, not as marketable, or in this case, not as resourceful as the action figure. So instead, I got the Sonic Boom Eggman plush, and also this big jumbo-size Charlie St. Robotnik. You're probably wondering, why is the stash so low, and just feel like he's been on a snottish slob, because, yeah, in the washer, I kind of regret that. Now it kind of looks like, if you remove the mustache, you'll look like Suffer the Wrath of Gru.
You're going to suffer the wrath of Gru.
But yeah, all jokes aside, these are the Sonic plushies, but other than that, I have some more stuff to share. Also, speaking of MegaCon, shoutouts to these Movie 2 flashback figures that I got from when I was at the Red Carpet premiere at MegaCon Orlando back in 2022. I have a very do-it-yourself Movie 2 inspired suit where I literally just grabbed the Master Emerald and I literally shout out, "Later, haters!" So it was also really awesome because they really love my Robotnik cosplay. It was very spot on to Jim Carrey just because of the impression and everything, because, you know, I'm the master of disguises. I'm a master of disguises. What's up above must go down below. So yeah, I'm one of those people that still kept my physical media DVDs and Blu-rays underneath here. I'm not going to ramble every single one of them, but then you got the old school stuff that my dad likes, like Fast and the Furious, Need for Speed, Dukes of Hazzard. Then you got other classic films like Indiana Jones, the original Jurassic Park trilogy, the Back to the Future trilogy. And then you got some more movies. You got some Christian movies in our household. And then you got my childhood nostalgia stuff. We got Lion King, we got SpongeBob, we got The Dark Knight, we got Ratatouille, and then we got the Shrek movies that I still own since when I was a child, so that's crazy. Got Shrek 1, and cannot forget peak cinema, The Cat in the Hat, Chocolate Thunder, or Bad.
Chocolate thunder or bed.
Bang.
But now, as we move forward, we can finally get to the main source. So we got the Sonic Boom DVD pack, which I am currently selling on eBay if anyone's interested. And yes, I'll go to a full display of the Sonic movies, but not just the Sonic movies. Every Jim Carrey movie I own, plus the Spider-Man movie collection, because I feel like that's going to be more intriguing to show. Then you got Incredible Hulk, you got How to Train Your Dragon, and a couple of dusty stuff down below. Let me just choose out my personal favorites in a chronological order by row. I forgot to acknowledge my Spider-Man blanket. Yes, I definitely have a double cross leg, since I usually change the pill sheets whenever it's like in the mood, but since it's been nothing but Spider-Man month, Spider-Man content lately because of the brand new day stuff, I'm like, yeah, this will be a good display with the blanket where you got the movies, you got the comic book arts, but not just Spider-Man. I just got Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, and you must be the Monopoly guy. Hey, thanks for the free parking. Thanks for the free parking. Yeah, I actually got this as a Christmas gift where it's like a full-length cozy blanket that's based on the first Ace Ventura movie, and I absolutely love it. It's nice, it's cozy, but obviously it's based on one of my favorite Jim Carrey roles of all time, so I pretty much love it a lot. Like a glove. Like a glove. Voila! My Jim Carrey movie collection, which I have shown it many times on this channel, but I'll do it again just in case if you're new to the channel. Let's just start off from the ones I own from both the Ace Ventura movies, Pet Detective and When Nature Calls, The Mask, one of my all-time favorites, Dumb and Dumber, one of the best road trip comedy movies ever. Then you got the 4-movie collection that includes Yes Man, The Majestic, quite underrated Jim Carrey movies, Batman Forever, where he plays the Riddler, Liar Liar, where he plays a lying lawyer, Truman Show, not just one of my favorite Jim Carrey movies, one of the best movies ever, period, in my opinion, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, unsurprisingly, my favorite Christmas movie, and yes, I am being very biased. Then we got Bruce Almighty, which was the first Jim Carrey movie that I watched before Horn Hears a Who. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, also like the Truman Show, not one of Jim Carrey's best, not one of his best performances, but one of my favorite movies ever for personal reasons. And then you got this long title, 76 is a series of unfortunate events, where he plays Count Olaf, and then his first big budget animated movie, which is Horton Hears a Who, his second Dr. Seuss film after The Grinch, Mr. Popper's Penguins, Disney's A Christmas Carol, which I mix up the order in the chronological way, and then we get to Dumb and Dumber 2, since, you know, he's a no-sequel guy since Ace Ventura 2, and then you get to Dumb and Dumber 2, and then bada bing bada boom, the Sonic movie trilogy, his only trilogy in his career, Sonic 1, 2, and 3, uno, dos, tres, cuatro, well, unless he comes back for Sonic 4. I know there's plenty of Jim Carrey movies that I am missing, such as Cable Guy, Me, Myself, and Irene, Man on the Moon, The Number 23, etc., etc. But these are like the major fan favorites I would go back and rewatch. And you know, since I am a big Jim Carrey fan, and even though the Sonic movies were like his last movies in his career, like, I don't know, if they make Sonic 4 or even The Mask 2 someday, if they ever do, I'll be so happy that I'll cry myself to sleep. But either way, this is fully my Jim Carrey movie collection, or in other words, the way that I would see every single Jim Carrey movie. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. And now for this quick ramble. Yes, I am a certified PlayStation player myself, which no, I'm not one of those Sonic fans that only has a Switch or only owns an Xbox. I'm definitely one of the rich cool kids that has a PS5 finally. So yeah, let's just get to the ramble. So I showed that I got all 3 Insomniac Spider-Man games for the first, Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2. Then you got Red Dead Redemption 2, which is easily one of my favorite video games ever because love the story, love Arthur Morgan, it's just that, yeah, takes it back in good old times. And then, surprisingly, for a Sonic fan, I don't have that much console-release Sonic games. I do play Frontiers for my cousin's PS5, but I do own Sonic X Shadow Generations, which is probably like my last favorite Sonic game that I played in recent times, until we get Sonic Racing Crossworlds, which we got Team Sonic Racing, but now this game does not hold up since we're getting a brand new Sonic Racing game where SpongeBob, Ninja Turtles, and Pac-Man's a part of it. Then we got Sonic Mania, because I will be honest, I got this game during the hype of the first movie. I kind of got that classic retro feel, so that's why I decided to play Mania. And then you got GTA 5, which is funny that I got a PS5 and a PS4 version of GTA 5 before GTA 6 comes out next summer. But other than that, let's just get to the other indie games, since we got Gran Turismo 7, Idris Elba did the soundtrack, then you got Call of Duty Black Ops 6, go ba ba ba. So yeah, got Call of Duty, and of course for the Kingdom Hearts fans, got Kingdom Hearts 3, because why not? It was like the last game before Kingdom Hearts 4. So yeah, that's my PS4, PS5 collection. So yeah, game on, nerds. And now we got a lot more Spider-Man Rambo. Let's just get straight to it. Firstly, I've already showed the DVDs where Sam Raimi himself signed the DVDs of his own Spider-Man trilogy. I got extra copies of Spider-Man 1 or 2 on widescreen edition. Then you got Spectacular Spider-Man. But it's only like the first complete season. It still is the best Spider-Man TV show. Dare I say it's quite spectacular.
Say that again?
Anyway, let's move on to the Amazing Spider-Man saga with Andrew Garfield. Definitely got the first one on Blu-ray, which has more extra bonus features, and then I got TASM 2 on DVD, so I'm like, yeah. I mean, Andrew Garfield's still my favorite live-action Spider-Man. Sure, may not be as peak as Tobey Maguire's movies, but it definitely has its amazing moments.
Say that again?
Okay, fine, I'll stop. Moving on to Tom Holland's first two movies, Homecoming, Far From Home, and Into the Spider-Verse, because I was originally like, should I get them like in separate copies of Homecoming, Far From Home, Into the Spider-Verse? And I was like, nah, I should get this like in all three. And you're probably wondering how come I didn't get Across the Spider-Verse, because I actually got this before No Way Home, because this was during the No Way Home hype. I wanted to get all the Spidey films except for Across the Spider-Verse. But speaking of No Way Home, yeah, I definitely got this 4 Ultra K case where it definitely has Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Electro, and then you got Doctor Strange in the back. If you decide to open up the case, boom, that's what the DVD looks like. Get your discount codes for digital codes to watch the movie. But other than that, I'm like, well, it's pretty cool steelbook that I can have with No Way Home. And even though I don't have Across the Spider-Verse, at least I got the last 3 PlayStation video games. I still say this is the best Spider-Man video game ever made, which I made a tier list stream not too long ago about it. Loved the first game where I first got my first PS4 as well, because I got a PS4 and the first Spider-Man game together. Then we got Miles Morales, which is a game that came out on my 19th birthday when the PS5 debuted. And then when I got the PS5, bada bing, bada boom, you could play as 2 Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2. So yeah, that's my physical Spidey media collection. On to the next one. So now that you see the majority of the Sonic movie merchandise that I've been glazing all over it, but what's behind there? I see Funko Pops. Not just Sonic based, but even some based on pop cultural property. So you know what we must do. Destroy, build, destroy! Destroy, build, destroy! Penis! I'm just kidding, we gotta remove all of these Sonic movie merchandise because kind of metaphorically and literally, since this franchise, the Sonic movie brand, took over like everything that I post on my YouTube channel. It's like, yeah, let's just look at the underrated gems that are hidden behind this Sonic movie train all over that's blocked over my shelf. So let's go kaboom! Insert Kevin McAllister scream. Ah!
Shut up!
Oh no.
Baby Funko Pop, baby Funko Pop. So yeah, throughout this whole entire time, when I placed the Sonic movie merch on the back, this used to be a Funko Pop shelf. And yes, the Death Egg robot's taking most of the space, so then it fills up to the shelf. So that's what literally it is in the back. So I'll definitely show, this is my latest one that I got, Crypto the Super Dog, which is basically a homage to my real life Crypto real life. And look, Roxy, it's exactly like you because it's a doodle. She's pretty asleep, guys, but yeah. Happy 1-year anniversary of raising you, Gertie. I love you. So yeah, aside from Crypto from the latest Superman movie, because yeah, really like that movie. I'm a punk rocker, yes I am. But yeah, let's get straight to the Funko Pop. So, funny enough, I actually get to meet the current voice actor for Knuckles in the video games. I think his name was Davey Mitchell. And then he puts my real name that says, keep your hands off the Master Emerald. Then it just shows Dave's like signature on the Funko Pop, which he was a pretty cool dude. And then when it comes to the other characters, yeah, we definitely got Roger Craig Smith, where he definitely just puts my name and just puts Gotta Go Fast. Now, the only person I just need to complete the original video game voice actor squad, hopefully if I get to meet Colleen O'Shaughnessy, I can let her sign my Tails Funko Pop, and then the trio is complete from here. And by the way, I forgot to address this, like back then I originally wanted to get the movie 2 Funko Pops, but you know, these are not based on the movies, these are based on the game, so I kind of want to pay a homage to the movie 2, where you got Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, and then you got Eggman into the mix. And yeah, I think he was literally like probably my first, or at least one of the only Funko Pops that I have around that time, because you know, even though it's based on the video game version, but I was just thinking, hey, it's based on Jim Carrey, so I might as well just take this one. And then, not too long ago, earlier this year, I was actually sent by a free gift by a content creator I subscribed to, and I actually got like free 3 Funko Pops, where I got Treasure Hunter Knuckles, I got Rouge the Bat, and I got Omega. The only character that I don't have is a Funko Pop is Shout the Hedgehog, which I actually borrowed my cousin's Shout Funko Pop just for the sake of a video, but it's in his collection, not mine. But yeah, aside from the Sonic characters that I've owned above, which is like 7 of them, then let's go straight bottom to the Looney Tunes. But of course, for anyone that gets the reference, then yeah, it's basically like what I originally was going to do on my Woody and Daffy Duck Plush channel, where the characters would transform themselves into Funko Pops, which is why I see Grumpy Dwarf.
Grumpy, Grumpy, my name is Grumpy.
So then you got Marvin the Martian from Space Jam: A New Legacy, because he's like the only bad guy in Looney Tunes I could see. And then since, you know, Looney Tunes and Warner Brothers are like, you know, in crossover with DC, and now they're doing it with the Sonic characters dressed up as the Justice League members. Back then, I just stick with the Looney Tunes, where Lola's Wonder Woman, you got Grumpy Dwarf, because, well, for those that watch my Woody and Daffy Duck videos, my cousin's voice Grumpy, where he goes, "Pop that cheese! Ha-ha, dopey!" Like, for anyone that gets the reference.
Yes, I finally popped that cheese. Yes, pop that cheese. Toilet paper. Toilet paper.
Then you got Wile E. Coyote as Cyborg, which congratulations for getting Coyote vs. Acme being released next year. You got Taz as the Flash. Then you got the Donut Lord himself, James Marsden as Cyclops from the original X-Men films, who is now being a part of Avengers Doomsday. What a coincidence. You got Sylvester as Batman. And then you got the real Batman, but the difference is this is Val Kilmer's Batman from Batman Forever. So RIP to Val Kilmer. Even if your bat nipples are like, you know, not noticeable, it's still there. And then you got Heath Ledger's Joker, because come on, he's easily the best live action Joker. Why so serious? And speaking of the Riddler, yes, this is clearly based on Jim Carrey's Riddler from Batman Forever, because I'm like, come on, that movie's a guilty pleasure. It's too over the top, it's too goofy, too campy, but easily he carried the movie as a whole. Was that over the top? I can never tell. And speaking of Jim Carrey, yes, they do make an Ace Ventura Funko Pop, and it was like so rare to find on eBay, so I'm like, yeah, I have no choice but to get it, because, you know, it's my goat. It's definitely like, you know, my go-to detective. So thank you very much. And then you got Tommy Lee Jones' Two-Face, which I will be honest, I was a little skeptical of not getting Two-Face, because, you know, Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey did not get along on set for Batman Forever, but I'm like, well, I do think the Funko Pop looks cool, so, you know, the main villains from Batman Forever, just make that connected with the best live-action Joker. And then on the category with Jim Carrey movies, yes, they made Dumb and Dumber Funko Pops of Lloyd Christmas and Harry Dunn, aka Jim Carrey, Jeff Daniels characters in their tuxedos, and just go, Mock, yeah, yeah, bird, yeah. It's easily one of my favorite, like, not just one of my favorite comedies, but easily the best road trip comedy film of all time. So the fact they made Funko Pops for Ace Ventura, the Riddler, and Dumb and Dumber, and yes, even though it's based on the Dr. Seuss book of The Grinch, I'm like, come on, you got easily get, like, the Jim Carrey references, and I have to include Max, because Grinch is not the same without Max. If they wouldn't make like an official Funko Pop of The Mask, since The Mask is like in my top 3 favorite Jim Carrey movies, then I would consider that if they only make one Funko. So please, it'll be smoking good. But speaking of which, we have Bugs Bunny as Superman, and even though they never made a Funko Pop of Daffy Duck as Green Lantern, which they could have done that, he's Duck Dodgers on the 21st and a half century. I just accidentally skipped a couple of buddies. I forgot to introduce Sheriff Woody and Buzz Lightyear from Toy Story, because one, I love Toy Story. Secondly, I mean, just to reference Woody and Daffy Duck, you got Woody and Daffy Duck, and this was like, you know, kind of like my homage to those characters for my Plush channel. But unfortunately, they're just here for display for nostalgic reasons, but also like, you know, personal reasons, because, you know, Toy Story 250 and beyond, my friends.
Oh, you've got a friend in me.
Even though I don't have the real Superman, but at least I have Bugs Bunny, so it's close enough. So then we could be starting binding up Elmer Fudd's butt face, Doc. And last but not least, I saved the best for last. So you guys notice I did a Sonic Funko Pop collection, the Looney Tunes, Batman villains, Jim Carrey characters, and now Spider-Man into the Funko Pop verse. I mean, don't get me wrong, Batman is one of the greats, but come on, I love me some Spider-Man more. But speaking of which, this one is my favorite one, not just because it's based on Homecoming, because, you know, this Spider-Man Funko Pop is not based on a stand where he has something up on his butt. This one's like quite postable and quite iconic, because, you know, it's Tom Holland's first suit in Homecoming, but obviously when they make brand new day Funko Pops, it's going to be hopefully slightly better. Then you got Tobey Maguire's Funko Pop, very iconic. Then you got Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, because come on, I mean, as much as I would prefer to get like, you know, the well, he just fell down, Doc Doc. Because if you see in the back of this wave, they got the No Way Home Green Goblin where he kind of looks like freaking Eminem on a glider, but I'm like, no, I want my OG where he just goes, itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout, down came the goblin that took the spider out. Ha 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 ha. Norman, quiet lapdog. So yeah, I think for the villains, Green Goblin's easily my favorite, not just as a Funko Pop, I think he's the best Spider-Man villain in general, thanks to Willem Dafoe's great performance. But also Doc Ock's Funko Pop was really cool, because even though, despite it's only based on the Stark Tech arms, at least, you know, you got Alfred Molina's Doc Ock, then you got Jimmy Foxx's Electro, where he's literally just on a Funko Pop. Here's a question, are these your Legos? Then, just for the sake of No Way Home, I got at least one Tom Holland Funko Pop right here, and then you got my favorite live-action Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield, because bro's literally amazing with his The Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit. And then down below, I actually got Andrew Garfield where he's doing like that pose from No Way Home when he's cleaning up the webs in the apartment at Ned's grandma's room. So I honestly thought that was cool to get an Andrew Garfield unmasked, just like they have Toby and Tom with unmasked. And then for the other villains that are not part of the No Way Home lineup, you got Tom Holland's other villains. You got the Vulture in Homecoming, and then you got Mysterio from Far From Home. And since I kind of want to make my own Sinister Six, since I couldn't get Sandman or Lizard from that multi-figure pack, I decided to put Tom Hardy's Venom, despite he never fought any of the Spider-Man, but this Spider-Man wants to fight an alien. So I'm like, there you go. That's my iteration of the Sinister Six between Toby's villains, an Andrew villain, Tom's villains, and then you got Venom. And then there you go. You got the whole Spider-Man Funko Pop collection, unless if I have space for more for the CEO or Zendaya or whoever's considering mine for the future. So yeah, that's my entire Funko Pop collection, and this is exactly what I mean when it comes to the space, when it comes to the shelves. It's like, yeah, since I put all the movie 3 merch, then yeah, it's gonna be a while. But that's not all, folks. There's more. I almost forgot to mention what's in my closet. So aside I'm going to see some shirts and board games, I do got some 2 Eggman figures that I got for my birthday and Christmas that I got from friends. Got a Toy Story cap, got a Spider-Man Universal cap, and then basically what you see from up above and down below, that's where I place all my cosplays. But let's see what's up above right there. All of these are just bonus items that I would love to share from my closet. So I got myself a Luigi hat because during the hype of the Super Mario Bros. Movie, me and my bro Gabriel decided to dress up as Mario and Luigi when we went to the Mario movie, and I actually wore this when I went to Universal. So yeah, just to keep some Nintendo household drip here. And then when it comes to the mask, so from right here, this is the 3D board game, which I've actually made a review on it 4 years ago on the channel back 2021. But it's a 3D board up game where it's basically not just retelling the movie, but you could play as 4 different Jim Carreys and Stanley Ipkiss, collect all the coins to the bank, and then you become one with the mask. And speaking of the mask, I got itself right here. Da-na-na-na. It looks pretty accurate to the movie. Definitely like has some sort of like a hook and a wire where I can essentially like love to recreate the movie. Since when I was a kid, I always loved recreating the scenes, and now I can just put it on, sit back, and enjoy the ride. But yeah, this gives me the good old childhood memories. And speaking of the mask, yes, I definitely got one of those creepy rubbery masks where I can actually talk out of it. And I actually opened the teeth so I could just move with the mouth joints and actually speak and communicate and just be like, "Look, Ma, I'm Roadkill." Ha ha ha. Like, you can definitely see by the rubber and as we go inside the mask. Spoken! It's party time! P-A-R-T. Why? Because I gotta! Gee, I figured you had a sense of humor. After all, you married her!
You married her?
Ah!
That's gotta hurt.
That's gotta hurt.
Did you miss me? I guess not. I like to think so. Ha ha ha. She is a coy.
I love it.
She is so coy.
I love it.
So yeah, I have a smoking good time, even though I sweat inside that mask, but don't worry, I disinfected it so the bacteria doesn't go in. Well, other than that, you guys know that the mask is the main reason why I became a Jim Carrey fanboy, because of the inspiration, the performances, and everything I love about this movie. I wouldn't be the Jim Carrey fanboy today if it weren't for that film. But speaking of other Jim Carrey films, yes, I got myself the Ace Ventura Funko Pop, his 1974 Monte Carlo, where he goes, like a glove, to find a perfect parking. And this is the tag that I got for my Ace Ventura cosplay when I cosplay as the character character many years ago. But outside of that, I know people are not really into board games nowadays since we live in a digital age. I got myself the Sonic Monopoly game where you could play as Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy. And yeah, I got this around the first movie where, you know, it's during the hype of the first film. But mainly it's based on Sega's property where you can have 4 players. And I have played it with family members and a couple of my friends for past previous birthdays. So I'm like, yeah, it's pretty fun for, like, you know, party occasions, diehard Sonic fans. I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely keeping this for the memories, even if we don't play it that much often, because, yeah, I don't have a bunch of local friends, but at least I got a few that still stick around. And then for Space Jam 2, yeah, I remember I used to make Space Jam 2 videos back then. If we get the Toon Squad out of the box, oh, we don't have LeBron James. So yeah, we got Bugs Bunny with the basketball. We got Daffy Duck shooting up some hoops. Then we got Elmo J. Fudd right here. Then you got Zendaya Lola Bunny. And yeah, that's basically like my McDonald's collections of half the Looney Tunes characters since we're not going to get in a long time. So yeah, that's my Space Jam 2, like, toys I got. No sweats! This is Looney Tunes land! And just to ramble here quickly, yes, this is my old Robotnik mustache that I got for Sonic 2. Here's his messy hair wig. This is the fat suit where I play congas with my big fat belly. And then inside of the Ziploc, you got yourself a new suit. But yeah, it's definitely based on his movie 2 suit, which of course I'm not going to show and ramble like every single piece about it because I've already made a whole full video about it. If you haven't seen it, then go check that video out.
Double your villains, double your fun. 2 Robotniks are way worse than 1. Now you're speaking my language, Pop. Just one. Now.
Then for my other Spidey cosplays, I got myself the TASM 2 Halloween bootleg suit, which, yeah, you can definitely tell it's one of those masks that just pokes to the holes. I actually got this when the movie actually first premiered back in 2014, and it actually still fits me despite I'm in my 20s. But then I got a much more improved suit. I mean, I know it's the TASM 1 suit, but yeah, definitely has more better skin tight, that it actually has a zipper on the back. And then this one, you just pull it in, just pull it out for this mask. But also, even though I don't have the budget for a face shell, but I definitely got one of those face shell mouthpieces so then I could breathe inside the mask. And then once I pull inside the mask, there it's going to look pretty derpy once when I decide to put the mask on. But other than that, these suits are pretty amazing. And dare I say, I probably might get like a more like detail, a lot more professional version of the TASM 2 suit, because I will admit, the TASM 1 lenses, they are very hard to see. But for this Halloween bootleg one, I can see better because it's made of net. But for this one, it's like, gosh dang, Andrew Garfield, how could you see out through that mask, bro? Like, see, this is what it looks like with the Andrew Garfield suit on. Like, I could definitely talk as well, but it's like, bro, where are my smart senses? I can't see. Can't see wherever I'm going. So, yeah, the eye lenses are quite distracting to pull up and pull down, you know? But when I put on the TASM 2 mask, but when I put on this crappy Halloween mask, then, yeah, you can see my eyes clearly. I can talk a lot better, but, you know, it doesn't look that professional. I look like the Spoderman eating the pretzel. So that's all for the Spidey suits. On to the next cosplay suits. And now for my other Jim Carrey cosplays that deserves more recognition than just Robotnik, aside from the one I show from the mask. Let's just go straight to the Grinch! The Grinch! So yeah, this is like my full-on Grinch fursuit since I do love the Grinch so much, and since I originally was going to do paint and makeup, I decided, like, just like what I did with the mask, just tuck out to the makeup and just go, hair bash a little slow. Well, that's what these tests are for. So yeah, I got this Jolly Old Saint Nick outfit, then I got the belts, and I wish I would have like more fuzzier fur that will match up with the Grinch's fur right there, so it'll be like, with this coat and this hat, I look just like Saint Nick. Ho ho ho! But yeah, I don't know if I want to do like full makeup or the paint. It's going to be pretty tricky because I think the Grinch is a very entertaining character to cosplay. And speaking of Jim Carrey cosplays, I also got the Riddler from Batman Forever. Actually customized like this question mark on the bowl cap. There's his orange hair that he has in the movie because literally the picture's right there. You got the Riddler cane. Riddle me this, riddle me that. Who's afraid? The big black bat. Obviously, it's Ace Ventura over there. Then I got this Riddler bag right here that definitely has like a grenade bomb because that's what he did in the movie. And yeah, got 2 Jim Carrey green characters that are the villains, like the Grinch and Riddler. I just don't have the Sinister 3.0 Emerald suit from Sonic 2. But yeah, as for the Ace Ventura suit, I believe this was the first cosplay that I got because literally it's the Ace Ventura wig, his license plate, the Hawaiian shirt, the striped pants. And yeah, sometimes I just like Ace Ventura so much because, like, yeah, it would be so cool to like have the more comfortable cosplays that I could have where I could just walk around, have a bird on my shoulder and then just go walk around, just be like, hey, Ventura, Pet Detective, how are you doing this afternoon? Alrighty then. Excuse me, bud. Excuse me, bud. But yeah. But yeah, all jokes aside, that's like half my Jim Carrey cosplays. Now we move on to the next topic. Thank you very much. So this is exactly what I mean by personalized items that are signed by professional people in the entertainment industry. Let's get straight to this one. This one might look familiar to you. This one is signed by the one and only Ben Schwartz, who voiced this disgusting blue rodent right here. And yes, he wrote my name that says, "It's over, Eggman," which is a line he said as Supersonic by the end of Sonic 2 when he's facing against the Dev Egg robot. You're probably wondering, where do I get this from? Well, during GalaxyCon Live, both Ben Schwartz and Colleen O'Shaughnessy were given like personalized autographs from that website, so I'm like, yeah, this could be my chance to get like a signed autograph from Ben Schwartz. So this was clearly during the hype of Sonic Movie 2. I was like, well, let me just think of a cool line, put my name in, just think that line is nice because it's over, Eggman. Because, you know, I cosplay as this character during the second and the third movie. You guys get the point. And by the way, I actually brought this to the show that I was supposed to see where Ben Schwartz was like performing live from his improv show in Orlando, and I have made a whole vlog about it. I actually brought it with me, and I was hoping that, you know, Ben would sign it in 2025, but, you know, I didn't get to meet Ben Schwartz, sadly, so I'm like, yeah, you guys gotta go watch the vlog to understand the full context of it. Speaking of which, we also got the autograph from Colleen O'Shaughnessy, also from GalaxyCon Live. And yes, Colleen is the voice of Tails, so just put, "To Daniel, let's do this," and just put a little sign. So I'm like, yeah, I got signed by Movie Sonic and Movie Tails, and it's funny because they're both born on September 15th. But as for this, I actually got this from Paramount Pictures themselves, and if you're probably wondering, yeah, this is during the first Sonic movie. So I went to the Sonic Movies account and DM by saying, hey, I purchased my ticket to go see the first movie on Valentine's Day. And then they actually give me a free gift. If you're probably wondering, what is that free gift? I'll show you. It's this exclusive neon color of the first Sonic movie. You definitely see the logo in the background. So yeah, I got this free t-shirt for free. So thank you very much, Paramount Pictures. And yeah, during the time where I got noticed by Jim Carrey before he deleted Twitter, where I recreated the Where Evil Grows dance sequence from the first Sonic movie, because, you know, Jim Carrey was like my big inspiration growing up, not just as an actor, but just embracing my personality, my comedy, and my dedication to just show my aspirations to entertain people. And then I actually got a signed autograph that's literally by his early 90s headshot during his comedy show hours, and it just goes to that one iconic line from Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, "Spank you very much."
Spank you very much.
And then even during the same year in 2020, he was doing like his Memoirs and Misinformation book that him and David Sean signed in. Guess what? Also another signed autograph by Jim Carrey and the co-author, which basically goes deep and down in a very fictionalized version of Jim Carrey's life, and that's what the book is. Even this quote right here, "None of this is real and all of it is true," and it's just a picture before Jim Carrey was assumed to be mistaken for a false missile launch in Hawaii, which you guys can like check out the whole video yourself. But other than that, it's like, yeah, I got noticed by the legend twice. Hopefully I meet you someday. But outside the Sonic franchise, let's get straight to the Spider-Man franchise. So if you guys recall in MegaCon 2023, I actually met director Sam Raimi, who directed the peak Tobey Maguire Spider-Man trilogy. So Sam, he was a really nice guy and such a sweetheart. He definitely puts be responsible for the first movie, be your hero in the second one, and as for the third one, it's just my name. I remember back then he originally was thinking like, oh, can I sign inside the box? But I think it was fine enough in the back. And yeah, I rewatched the heck out of the Spider-Man trilogy so many times because, you know, it's easily one of the best superhero movies ever made. So yeah, I got the first movie on DVD, and then Spider-Man 2, which is my favorite from the trilogy of right here. So yeah, you got more signed from the DVD disc, and then you got Doc Ock's arm. And then last but not least, you got the Tobey Maguire movie. You got Spider-Man 3. Make sure that this does not came out. And yeah, even though Sam did not sign the back, but come on, we just gotta look at the behind-the-scenes filmmaking aspects of it for what makes these Spider-Man movies so revolutionary for not just Spidey, but also superhero films. So yeah, it was an honor just to talk to Sam Raimi and talk about his hypothetical Spider-Man 4 idea if he ever gets to make one. But I am looking forward to Tom Holland's fourth Spider-Man film. And speaking of Spider-Man, I actually get to meet Yuri Lowenthal, who's the voice of Peter Parker in the PlayStation Spider-Man games by Insomniac. And there's his signature, and then I put Spidey because I'm like, well, Spider-Man 2 was still pretty big around that time, and I went to MegaCon 2024, and he was pretty chill. Like, he was surprised that I knew his voice of Spider-Man from the mobile games, like The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man Unlimited, the mobile game. And I said, like, hey, it was an honor that you and Josh Keaton voice Spider-Man, your respective cameos in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So either way, he took the selfie and took the pictures, and it was nice. And speaking of MegaCon, yeah, I couldn't find my 2023 badge, but these are the badges I went through like usually every year. And then this one, okay, whether if you guys care about it or not, I actually get to meet the voice of Marco Diaz from this Disney XD cartoon called Star vs. the Force of Evil, and he liked it when I did my Marco Diaz impression. I keep on saying super awesome nachos most of the time because this bro's literally me in cartoon form if I was like having a mole or have martial arts. So I thought it was pretty nice. So shouts to Adam MacArthur. And also my own merchandise, which it's available on Teespring, and then you can get a discount code if you decide to buy it. So here's my notepad from my merch store on Teespring. Also some stickers that features me and Gabriel, or in this case Dan and Gabe, and we call ourselves the Matamoro Bros since our last name is Matamoro. So I think it's pretty nice. If you're interested, just go check it out on Teespring. And then these are not technically signed, since I'm also a big Spider-Man fan outside of Sonic, of course. So I got this from the Far From Home era, where it's like all the movies and comic books from Tobey Maguire to Andrew Garfield to Tom Holland. And then this one's no different. It's definitely like a recap of the history of Spider-Man through the movies, the comics, the TV shows. And then definitely this one is definitely made during the No Way Home hype. So I'm like, cannot wait to see if they're going to do something more beyond for Brand New Day. So definitely looking forward if, like, you know, the legacy of Spider-Man still continues, even though it's from different magazines. So yeah, and yeah, speaking of which, yes, I do got some Spider-Man merch right there, from the Tobey Maguire pillowcase, Ultimate Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire pillow. Then you got Batman v Superman, which you got Ben Affleck punching Henry Cavill. And then you got my favorite live-action Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield. You got my favorite character from the Spider-Verse movies, Peter B. Parker. Then you got socks for Buzz Lightyear. Then you got this Kermit the Frog puppet, which I actually found this from school. So then I just make sure that this puppet doesn't get lost. It's not easy being green. Down to the left, you got a little bit of Minecraft McDonald's toys, because why not? It was part of the hype. And then you got the Super Mario Bros. Movie toys, where you got the Mario figure, the Luigi figure, and Toad, which unfortunately I wasn't like too crazy with getting all the merchandise, but I thought the movie figures were pretty cool, especially when Chris Pratt literally took the figures when the movie was like in its hype era. And then you got the Grinch, which is a hot cocoa mix, since, you know, love the Grinch, especially since it's Jim Carrey's version, and I love me some hot chocolate, so I might as well put it there. And then you got some Marvel Funko Pops that I might consider to be selling. It probably needs some more space on the other shelves. And yeah, we'll eventually see between Rocket Raccoon and Baron Zemo from Falcon the Winter Soldier. And down below, you got my punk rock goats, Ramones, that actually produced songs in the 70s, but also you heard their songs from Blitzkrieg Bop and Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, and even the first Sonic movie, Jimmy Neutron, play the iconic songs for Ramones. And yeah, that's a picture between me and my dad just having a emotional birthday hug. And speaking of which, since Ramones I mostly associate with Spider-Man, I got myself an Amazing Spider-Man comic issue comic book art, which was a pretty nice gift that I got for Christmas and birthday. So then I'm like, yeah, I got my favorite superhero, I got my favorite punk rock band, because yeah, these two are just punk rockers since the 60s and the 70s, man. Then you got me and my dad, best dad ever, because, you know, I'm very close with my father. Then I got a painting from one of my close buddies that I actually got for my birthday, which I thought that was pretty nice and cute. Then another Spider-Man mug that has my name on it, since it's based on Universal. And also another sweet birthday gift that's like a Spider-Man vase that is based on the villains Venom, Dr. Octopus, Spidey, Green Goblin Bomb, Electro, and yeah, I just think it's a good custom-made birthday gift that I got. And if you're wondering all this stuff, no, this is not trash. These are all the plushies that I've used for my old channel from Wayne Daffy Duck. I'm just going to speed run it for those that care about that old channel, Wayne Daffy Duck. But if not, you can easily just skip to the next timestamp of this video. But for now, let's get to the rest of the plushies. Okay, this took a while to take a trip to memory lane, not just nostalgia for my childhood, but for nostalgia for my old roots, my old YouTube days for Wayne Daffy Duck. And yes, I have kept most of them, and I'm not playing the song because, not because of nostalgia, because, look, if someday if I become a papa in the next 10 years, I'll let my kids play with these toys whenever they got the chance to, like, have the experience of the childhood that I have. But for those who are Woody and Daffy Duck fans that subscribe to this channel, then yeah, this is going to be a trip to memory lane for you. Starting off with, from the very top, you got Winnie the Pooh, and then you got Minnie the Pooh, Pooh's nephew. You got Eeyore, which Gabriel, who's my cousin who makes the voice of Eeyore and just goes, I'm Batman. You got Grogu for the Mandalorian. You got this baby that I call him Buddha. You call me little mommy, little sissy. And then you got Little Bill, which my cousin Gabriel does a good impression of. Well, look, mama, you're looking thick today. And then you got the Grinch, which is the only Build-A-Bear I have, and yeah, it's the only one because you guys know I love Grinch so much. I got Donkey, I got Gingy, and I got Shrek. Sadly, I don't have Puss in Boots. But next you got Constantine, the world's most dangerous frog and #1 criminal, who used to be the main villain of the channel back then. You got Kermit the Frog, just like I got the puppet version, but then you got the small version where Gabriel does a nice voice impression. And then you got Miss Piggy, Porky Pig, Chuck E. Cheese, and then I got the Bowsers, which I kept all the 3 Bowsers from his original, Dry Bones, and Mario Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, which, yeah, I use these plushes for the winning Daffy Duck movies, especially the second movie, spoiler alert. And then on the left, you got Foghorn Leghorn, I say, Marvin the Martian, Bullseye, who used to be a British horse, and then you got Speedy Gonzales, Arriba, Arriba. Then you got Lightyear Zurg, then you got the OG Upper Zurg, then you got Garfield, Waluigi, who loves Garfield, and then you got Waluigi Jr., who was debuting in winning Daffy Duck the movie 2. Then you got Rosalina, who dies in that movie, spoiler alert. Then you got Princess Peach, Peaches. Then you got Mario, Luigi, Kamek, Daisy, another Kamek with the wand, Fire Mario, Fire Luigi, Shy Guy, Stomping Koopas. Yeah, I got a Koopa. You got the gopher from Winnie the Pooh, but we call him Nigel, where he's an Australian gopher. And then you got Goofy, you got Mickey Mouse, Pluto, Donald Duck, Timon and Pumbaa from The Lion King, DK, Donkey Kong, Black Yoshi, Papa, what's up, folk? Then you got Yoshi, then you got Toad, and I got other Toads. Then you got Belle, which in the universe of Winnie Daffy Duck, basically they are a married couple. But then we got other fan favorites such as Grumpy Dwarf, Pop that cheese, Stumpy, ha-ha! Then you got Woody's dad, Billy, which, yes, we actually put some tape to make sure he looks like Sam Elliott. You got Jesse, where it's like, yeah, Buzz, I love it. I love smelling caca. And then you got Buzz, which for those that likes the channel, he's like the fan favorite character where he goes, no, nothing. Chef Boy RD, who's your friend who likes to play? Jump, 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 Woody. So, yeah, it's kind of funny. Only at Taco Buzz. Ding. So, yeah. Kind of miss those days when I used to film plush videos back in the day. Then you got the main Looney Tunes cast, which you can tell they're easily from the Looney Tunes show since the channel was based on the Looney Tunes. So there you got Tweety, you got Taz, which I will say, when I invent my own voice for Taz, it's so underrated by saying like, yeah, be nice to Taz, I love Bobo. So, you know, something like that. Then you got Sylvester, then you got Lola, then you got Bugs Bunny, and then you got my favorite Looney Tunes character, Daffy Duck. You're despicable. And then last but not least, you got Sheriff Woody. And yes, I do got the hat, which I actually kept this Woody doll since the events of Toy Story 3. Just always remember, partner, you got a friend in me. So long, partner. Yeah, it was not easy filming the plush channel, which, yeah, I did make a finale with all these plushies of taking these plushes wherever I go to public places. And I'm not saying like copy SML, but like SML, we take them on to go and actually take it seriously. But for now, I'll just save this as a favorite memory of not just the main reason why I got the Pop Culture Dude, and I would not make the Pop Culture Dude if it weren't for this channel for making freaking plush videos nowadays. I'll still treasure these for as long as I can keep them. There might be some, not these guys, but some other plushies I might sell that were not a part of the channel. But for these ones, they're staying for the attic storage, just like Toy Story 3, and I'm not giving away to Bonnie. Just save it for my future kids whenever they get the chance. But for now, just like I said with Woody, so long, partners. But now, on to the show, and back to our main program. Oh yeah, also, shout-outs. Can't forget Dry Bones. For anyone that watches Mario War, I'm just gonna say this. Excuse me, am I fat? Just answer the question, am I fat? Why are you running?
Am I fat? Just answer the question, am I fat? Just answer the question, please. I just want to know, why are you running?
Ooh, somebody stop me! Somebody stop me!
From glazing for a bunch of merchandise I own, from toys to action figures, plushies, DVDs, collectibles, Funko Pops, and you guys know the rest from everything for what I've owned. So if you made it this far for watching, depending how long I'll be having some sleepless nights of editing this long video for my 9,000 subscriber special, I have to say thank you for sticking this long and actually get to see like what do I have in my room tour. And who knows, whether if I move out to a different home or to a different place, then I might as well just update the room and probably like organize a bit, probably have a bit more things on the shelf, and you know, make some more space if I'm gonna get more merchandise, or else, you know, it's gonna be flooded with a bunch of merchandise of Sonic toys and basically all these other figures and collectibles and DVDs and whatever the heck that I'm owning for what I got for my personal hyperfixations as the Pop Culture Dude. So other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. As the sun is getting real low, I mean, look at this, before the mile radiations start blowing up the moon, if you know what I mean. But anyway, jokes aside, thank you guys sincerely that I've been doing this for like 9,000 subscribers for posting on this channel. I probably wouldn't be as dedicated as I am for pulling off the commitments of the time for you guys to watch the content, but also for me to stay motivated and still stay locked in just to keep on posting content, so then you guys will be engaged, and then, you know, hitting that notification bell and just make sure that I'm producing like new content in terms of videos, shorts, vlogs, live streams, or whatever the heck I'm posting. You all got to hear from the pop culture dude himself. So just to sign off everything, thank you for 9,000 subscribers, and I guess there's only one last thing to say. It's been a real drag.
Thanks for nothing.
Thanks for nothing.
Wait.
But yeah, all jokes aside, you guys definitely have a good day, have a good night, what time you're watching this, and make sure you just stay safe, especially for what you watch on the internet. So, in case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Take care now. Bye-bye then.
Take care now. Bye-bye then.